Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year to all the diecast collectors out there, and anybody that's not a diecast collector that's just kind of coming through and watching the channel. Welcome, welcome. So today I thought I would show you a couple of small pickups that I found while I was on a short little trip up in Central California. We were up visiting family, not under the best circumstances, unfortunately, but I did have a couple of stops that permitted me to, just happen across a couple of these finds. So the last finds that I show you, it was in absolutely the weirdest place to find diecast, but you never know where you're going to find stuff. So just always keep your eyes open. But first up, I did hit a Hobby Lobby while I was up there. I was running some errands and I popped in there. I was literally in the same parking lot, so I said, hey, why not? And I'm sure glad that I did, because I came across this guy right here, and it's the Johnny Lightning Import Heat. And what's cool about this is you get 2 cars in these packs, and I really just wanted to get the Nissan 350Z. I'm not a big fan of this RX-7, the way that it's set up with these tiny little tires. I know that Johnny Lightning does the best they can to make it true to scale, but sometimes the tires that they use and wheels on these cars, they're not the most appealing, as you can see. But to scale, I mean, it's probably as accurate to scale as you're going to get, but this 350 is just absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, this is the new release coming out from Johnny Lightning right now. There's a lot of these coming out, the Import Heat, and they're in 2 packs like this. I think the other one has a 300Z and another Mazda paired with it, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this was a cool little find that I found there in the Hobby Lobby. Let's see, what else? Oh, right after Christmas Day, the day after, I was over at Target, and they had just put out, looked like an end case. And very fortunate, I just happened to stroll over there. I was picking something up also, and came across these 2 guys right here. So if you saw my Instagram account, you saw me post these up. But yeah, these were the only 2 that I found. I did not find the 2+2. There were actually, I think, 4 sets of these if you count these by 2s. So 8 total, but there were no 2+2. So clearly somebody came and grabbed all the 2+2s and left the Camaros and the SRT Demons. But you know what? That's okay, man, because these are great castings, and I absolutely love the way these look. So I was super glad. And we don't come across red editions too often here at our local Target, or in our area for that matter. So really glad that I came across these right here. But let's get to the meat and potatoes. So I'm gonna start it off kind of slow, just because some of these were, cars that I picked up that weren't necessarily, super valuable, but they were valuable to me. They were ones that really stood out to me. And as you can see on the wall behind me, or in the video right here, I do have a small collection of motorcycles, and so I saw these motorcycles and decided to pick them up. And the first one that I found was this guy right here, and it's collector number 136 out of 2003, and it is the Blast Lane. And they do a great job when they build these motorcycles at Hot Wheel. I know this is a fantasy build, but man, these look absolutely awesome. Of course, you've got the nice Hot Wheels flame right there, if you can see it on the top, and I just absolutely had to grab that one. And so hanging on it, on the pegs right near it in the store that I found these in. Oh, and we should go back to where I found these. So I was basically sitting at my brother-in-law's house, and my wife FaceTimed me and said, hey, you got to check this out. And I thought she was going to show me something from the store she was at. They were out buying food for the family, and it was a little Asian market kind of in the middle of nowhere. And she pulled up the FaceTime, and sure enough, there was a case full of these Hot Wheels in there. And I was like, ooh, ooh. And she was panning around in there. So I really didn't get a hunt video out of it, because, it was really just short notice and grab this, grab that. But yeah, what a weird place. I mean, just a small market in the middle of nowhere. The only toys in the entire store, and it was a small display case full of older Hot Wheels. But anyway, on to more of the ones that I found. So here's another bike that I found. It's the Scorchin Scooter. And just the paint on this, it was worth getting. I love that it's set up. It kind of looks like a Harley Fat Boy, and just really sleek lines. They just do an awesome job. I really wish they did more of these, because I think we got the Bad Bagger was the only one in the 2022 that we got, but this one's absolutely cool. And this is, I want to say, let's see, 2006 release, but just absolutely cool. And then let's see, yep, I've got two more. And so here's the next one that I found, and this one is actually based off of a custom built at Orange County Customs, and it's the OCC Splitback. And anytime I see anything from Orange County Customs, I absolutely go bananas for it and try to pick it up. So we don't see a lot of these modded bikes, even in some of the like vintage stores or diecast stores around here. And there's a lot of guys who collect them, but they don't like to give them up. So it was cool to come across these, and these were only a couple of dollars, so they were well worth the grab. And I was just happy that, you know, I came across this place that you wouldn't expect to find Hot Wheels, and of course there they were. All right, and last but not least is this beautiful bike right here, and I really love the way this one looks too. And it's a 2004 first edition, and it's called the Cruise and Ooze. But man, just look at the beautiful color on this. It's like a burnt orange metallic, and just everything on this, just sleek lines. Everything just looks awesome, aerodynamic. You got the wheel tuck back there in the rear fender. Big old V-twin sitting down there with the big pipes coming out of it. Just beautiful looking bike. But yeah, those were the four bikes that I picked up. But the main reason, and the reason it caught my attention, were some of these next ones that I found, because I couldn't believe that they were just sitting in this market and at the price that they were at. So let me go ahead and get those. Now, a couple of them I already put into clamshell cases. They didn't come like this, but this is what I did with them when I got back. So before we get to those, let's start off with one of the first of the JDM ones that I found. And this one is out of the 2011 Hot Wheel Performance series, and it is this bad boy right here. Of course, you've got the Acura NSX in the AEM livery, and my sons and I actually have the alternate version of this one in gold, and it's been open for quite some time. It was one of them that when, you know, my boys were little and they opened these up before we were really collecting Hot Wheels, it was just one that they had in their collection. But super glad that I found this. I've actually looked for this one for quite a while, even in Fragan Sons and some of the other bigger reseller diecast places that I've gone to. They haven't had this version. They've had the gold, but I haven't been able to find the blue and red version, so I'm so glad that I did. And this will make, I think, number 2 in the colorways. I have the gold now in package, so I think I have all 3 of them. There's a black, this blue and red, and the gold, but just a super awesome find. And then this was the first car that actually caught my eye in the video that she was FaceTiming me, and it's this beauty right here. It is the nice Subaru Impreza WRX. And man, what an awesome find. This was, like I said, they were a couple bucks, and you know, I've seen these at some of the resellers for way more than what they were being sold for in this store, and I've just never pulled the trigger to buy them, just basically because, you know, I felt like they were a little bit overpriced. Even on eBay, they were a little bit hard to obtain. So it's been on the list, but it's not something I've actually pulled the trigger on. So it was very fortunate of me to be able to find these sitting where they were at, in a market in the middle of nowhere, you know, next to bags of rice and you know, everything else they were selling in the store. These kind of things were just kind of out of place in that store. If you'd have walked in there, you would know what I'm talking about. But it was really cool to find this. But last but not least of the non-clamshelled ones, the ones I haven't put in, was this guy right here. And what grabbed my attention on this one was the fact that it was on a short card. So it's the Circle Tracker. We know this is a fantasy casting of a NASCAR. It's Hot Wheels version of a NASCAR, but I do collect the Circle Trackers, and this was one that I did not have yet. I think I have 7 or 8 other colors in the Circle Tracker. including the latest one I think that came out, which was the Zamek from last year. But this will look really nice in the collection, and who knows, this might find its way to a certain somebody who collects NASCAR. I won't spoil who that is, but maybe the next time I send a box out his way, this one might find its way into it, so we'll see. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes. Oh, one more before we get there. So this was actually one that my nephew had stored in a box, and it had been in the garage, and we were helping clean out the garage, and they came across this and another casting that he had, and it's this beauty right here. It's a 1998 first edition IROC Firebird, and this thing is absolutely awesome. Just look at that gold paint on there. Gold on these cars looks super, super good. It's got the True Value livery on it. You can see it right here also on the hood. No tampos on the front or on the rear other than this little license plate on there. But what a great car, and he was nice enough to let me have this. I kind of begged and pleaded with him to let me have this, and he did. And he's got his own little collection as well. And the next time we're up there, I'm going to do a feature on his loose collection, because he has some really nice castings in that loose collection that he's got, including, well, I don't want to spoil it, but one that a lot of you guys probably wish you had in your collection, including myself. And I'll highlight that when I go up there the next time. All right, here we go. So, the ones that I have in the clamshells, starting off was this beauty right here, and I was just floored that this was sitting in the case, especially at the price that it was sitting there at. But it is the 2011 premiere of the Ryu Asada designed Honda S2000. So of course this came out in 3 different colors. I have the other 2 colors. This was the final color that I needed to complete the first edition of the Honda 2000, and I was just floored seeing this sitting there in a case in the middle of nowhere in a small market that shouldn't be selling Hot Wheels. So super cool pickup by one of my favorite designers that Hot Wheels has ever had. I think it's a close competition between Junimai and Ryu Asada, but Ryu just, I mean, he nailed it with the JDM castings that I absolutely love. But speaking of Junimai and his most famous casting, I found not one, but 2 of them in the same place. And the first one I found is this guy right here. And of course it is the Datsun 510 in the Faster Than Ever wheels from 2012. And it is absolutely gorgeous. I love the way they build these 510s in this scale. I try to get my hands on as many 510s as I can. I don't have near the collection as the Datsun man, of course, but and I do mainly focus on the less rare of these 510s, because some of these 510s, especially some of the older ones and the ones that are premium or exclusives to, like, say the Tokyo auto shows or the Tokyo collector shows, they can be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But this was one I did not have yet in the collection. I was so glad to come across it, and man, what a find. And sitting right next to it, partnered up with it, was this beauty right here. And this was one that I had actually been trying to work a deal out with somebody on long before this, and the deal kind of fell through. But of course it is another Datsun Bluebird 510, and it is out of the Nightburner series, and it's in this really awesome livery. It's got, let's see, what does that say, HJ Racing on the side. Just an absolutely beautiful casting, and to come across not one but 2 was just amazing. But that's not all. As I was going up to the register to pay, sitting at the register itself, let me see if I can find it here, was, of course, the last find I had to come across to make it worth it. And it was sitting there loose, and of course I had to ask if it was for sale, and of course it was this guy right here. Check that out, guys. And of course it's in the FTEs as well. This would have been the mate to the number 32 in red right here. So you can see this guy. And this guy made it together. I would have loved to have gotten this one in package too, but he had it sitting there at the register. I was like, what do you want for it? Well, the guy at the register's like, well, it's out of the package. And so I basically paid what it would cost for a basic Hot Wheel today to get this one loose, and it was a great deal. I was like, yes, please, and grabbed it immediately. So great find, great little trip. It was great too to kind of see family, see my wife's family, and you know, get to spend some time up there. Like I said, not under the best circumstances, but you know, I got to re-engage too with my nephew, who's kind of a collector himself, and kind of go through his loose stuff while we were, you know, just finding some time and being able to just share that with him as well. And so I promised him I would be bringing him some back up, so I'm going to load him up with some of the recent JDMs that he hasn't been able to find, and bring those back to him. But yeah, really great little pickup. Really glad that I made the trip. I mean, I didn't make the trip to go hunting for Hot Wheels by any means, and sometimes you find things when you're not expecting to. So get out there, guys, look in those really weird places, and you never know what you might come across. But hey, until the next time, guys, this is Super JDM Diecast, and just a reminder, we are rapidly approaching 400 subscribers. So once we hit that 400 subscriber mark, I'm going to hold a special video where I show what my 400 subscriber giveaway is going to be. You're not going to want to miss it, and you're definitely going to want to be the person that wins for the 400th subscriber giveaway. So keep tuned in, keep watching, and that should be coming anytime soon. We're getting really close. So with that being said, also make sure you like and subscribe, and if you don't have somebody that you know that's subscribed, or you do have somebody you know that's not subscribed, send them my way. Let them subscribe to the channel, check out the content, and we'll get across that line of 400 and start really pushing to get that video up to get the giveaway out. So all right, guys, until the next time, this is Super JDM Diecast. I am out.